Hey, I am back with a little tip that I feel is very appropriate for this time of year. I know it is the season of sickness. So this tip is brought to you by the fever that plagues everybody's house. So my kids have lots of friends missing from their class right now, and I'm sure fevers play a role in that. And I just want to throw this tip of the day out to you guys about fevers. Fevers are a symptom. They are not a sickness, and usually they occur in your body when your body is trying to turn up the heat to get rid of something that does not belong there, such as an infection or a bacteria or whatever miscellaneous other things want to attack our children's bodies or our own. And a fever is something that can be good, actually, as long as it's not over a certain degree, and you can look it up based on age and what's considered a high risk or more dangerous fever. But generally, most fevers can be treated without medication, which is my next point. Why give your children medications that are filtered through their liver and kidneys that is not necessary? It's different if they're uncomfortable, they have a bad headache, or other symptoms that go along with that fever. But the fever alone is not really a reason to give that medication, because a lot of times that fever is doing a job. It's actually very fascinating. If you are bored and you don't want to just take my word for it, you should look up the reasons that a fever happens and what causes it, and just the neat sciencey things that have to do with the friction that goes on inside your bone marrow that causes your temperature to rise, that helps your body defend itself against whatever is attacking it. But I also wanted to point out that an average body temperature is 98.6. That is the average. That does not mean that it's everybody's core body temperature on a regular basis. I believe all of my kids tend to range in the higher, and if you ever want to see what your children's core temperature is on a regular basis, take their temperature when they don't have a fever. So also factors such as in the morning our temperature tends to be a little lower, in the evening it tends to be a little higher, and whatever activities we are doing does affect what our body's temperature is. And because it's an average, it's not the same for everybody. So your core temperature might be a degree above or a degree below what the average is, and that could be normal for you. So a temperature that is in the 99s is not really a temperature for a lot of people, because it's not even a low grade temperature, because it's what your regular core temperature is. Your hypothalamus controls that. It also helps control the temperature that comes with the fever. So there's a lot of neat things out there that can educate you on fevers. But my main point is I'm really anti-medication for those things, because all of that stuff goes through their tiny developing liver and kidneys, and if it's not necessary, I don't think you should give it to them. There are other ways to bring that fever down: lukewarm shower or bath, cool cloth on the head, removing layers of clothes. You don't want them to get the shivers or anything like that, because that actually can be not good for whatever sickness is going on. But whatever can keep them at a comfortable temperature that will help lower their temperature without giving medication. And to be honest, when our kids have fevers, they are extra snuggly and cuddly, and sometimes that's cute and sweet, and you can give them Tylenol and then they'll have a rush of, I think I feel better, when I really don't, and all those snuggles are gone. So that's a reason right there, just to keep that fever around a little bit longer. But anyway, that is what I wanted to point out today. Please get educated on it before you just give your kids that Tylenol or their Motrin, because they don't always need it for a fever, and some fevers are fevers and not fevers. And I know my own kids, and you'll know your own kids, mine all tend to range in a higher body temperature on a regular basis, so we push those high fevers around here. 103, 104s are not uncommon when they're sick, and I will give them the medicine when it gets that high. But when they're lower and you can keep them comfortable, otherwise the more important thing to do is keep them hydrated and rest.